Well, folks, apparently children in this country are dying because of what New York Attorney General Letitia James has done to the poor Trump family. Kids are dying, we're being told now, because Letitia James went after the Trump family, for their charitable fraud and won't let them run any charities anymore. Or at least, of course, that is what Laura Trump, the wife of Eric Trump, wants us to believe. In an interview this week, of course, on Fox News, Laura Trump had this to say about all the children dying because the Trump family's been investigated. My husband started a charity to raise money for kids at St. Jude's Children's Hospital. When he was 22 years old, he raised $30 million for the kids of St. Jude, and Letitia James has such vitriol and hatred for anyone with the last name Trump that she decided to investigate my husband's charity despite the fact that it had one of the lowest expense ratios of any private charity in America. And unfortunately, guess who was hurt by that? It wasn't my husband. It's the kids of St. Jude. Who knows how many kids have died unnecessarily thanks to her investigation and her vitriol and hatred for anyone with the last name Trump. I like how you didn't say the Trump family. You're like, anybody with the last name Trump. Because technically I'm not family. I just married into it, so I got to make the caveat of anybody with the last name Trump. So I'm included. I'm part of the persecution. Look at me. I'm so wonderful and great, and everybody knows who I am and cares totally. Nobody's died because Eric Trump isn't allowed to steal money from kids with cancer anymore, Laura. And I love how you left that part out. That's what your husband was busted doing. We had one of the lowest expense ratios. Yeah, but he still jacked it up to screw over St. Jude's. It doesn't matter what the ratio is. And by the way, I don't think for a second you actually had one of the lowest. I think that is a bald-faced lie. He took millions. And then charged hundreds of thousands for the use of a property that he owned. Like, that's what gets me about the whole thing. He overcharged them for a property that he owned. He didn't have to charge him a dime. He could have actually written that off, by the way, as a donated space and time and saved money on his taxes. But rather than save money on his taxes, he wanted to get the money up front, so he overcharged the charity. How many kids died because he took that money away from them, Laura? That's the question I have. That's the death count I want to see. How many kids weren't able to get life-saving treatment because Eric Trump said, oh, I've raised you millions, and then they only get a portion of it? They should have gotten all of it. He owned the space. He could have given it to them and donated it as a tax write-off, and he would have still gotten the money. Except he'd have been taking it, basically away from the federal government instead of kids with cancer. And I think all of us would agree it's always better to not give the government money than to take money from kids with cancer. But your husband chose to do the latter, and that is why he's not allowed near a charity in the state of New York anymore. I know what a lot of you out there are thinking. You're thinking, wouldn't it be amazing if you could wear the Ring of Fire logo across your chest? Well, now you can. Just head on over to our Teespring page to find some awesome merch we're offering for our viewers. We have more designs that are going to be added in the near future, so just follow the link in the description or take a peek at the shelf of merchandise under this video. Thanks for watching.